Hello everyone, welcome back to massive open online course on 3D printing and design for educators. My name is Dr. Aniket Nagargoje and I work as an assistant professor of mechanical engineering in MIT Academy of Engineering, Pune. Dear learners, this unit deals with powder-based 3D printing processes. It is divided into three modules. The first module deals with powder fusion mechanisms used in powder-based 3D printing processes. The second module deals with selective laser sintering process. And in third module, we will see other variants of powder-based 3D printing processes. After going through this video, you will be able to classify powder-based 3D printing processes and fusion mechanisms used in powder-based 3D printing processes. Dear learners, in this video we will see the classification of powder fusion mechanisms used in powder-based 3D printing processes. This video includes introduction to powder-based 3D printing processes and the classification of powder-based 3D printing processes, and at the end we will see how the fusion mechanisms are classified based on nature of fusion of the powder material used in various powder-based 3D printing processes. So what are powder-based 3D printing techniques? In powder-based 3D printing techniques, the material in powder format is used and it is processed by energy sources like laser or electron beams. These energy sources melts and fuse the powder particles to form the solid object. Based on nature of powder supply, powder-based techniques are classified in two types. The first one is powder bed fusion processes and the second one is laser powder fed or direct energy deposition processes. In powder bed fusion techniques, a thin layer of powder is deposited on build platform or substrate for each layer of object being printed. This is typically achieved using powder dispensing system that eventually spreads a precise amount of powder over a built area. This YouTube video shows the powder bed fusion process. A thin layer of powder is prepared before each layer is scanned by laser. After completion of fusion process by laser, next layer is deposited by recoater mechanism. And the process goes on till last layer. In laser powder fed or direct energy deposition processes, the powdered material is typically delivered to a build area through the nozzle or powder delivery system. The powder is fed onto the path of laser beam where it is rapidly heated and fused into the substrate. This video shows the laser powder fed or direct energy deposition mechanism. It uses a special type of nozzle to supply powder in the path of laser beam where it is fused and deposited onto the substrate. So, in these techniques, powder particles are fused together to form a solid object. Let's see the classification of techniques used to fuse these powder particles in powder-based 3D printing processes. Based on fundamental physical processes that occurs during the fusion of powder material layers, these techniques are classified in 5 types. The first one is solid state sintering. Second one is chemically induced bonding. Third one is liquid phase sintering. The fourth one partial melting and the fifth one full melting. Each mechanism represents a different way in which powder material is fused together to form solid objects. So, what is sintering? Sintering is a manufacturing process that involves the heating of powder material to the point where the particles adhere and bond together, forming a coherent mass. The predominant mechanisms employed in commercial 3D printing processes are liquid phase sintering and full melting processes. To summarize, in this video we have discussed about what are powder-based 3D printing processes, classification of powder-based 3D printing processes, and classification of powder fusion mechanisms used in powder-based 3D printing processes. So thanks for watching this video. You can refer e-content given on the MOOC website to learn about classification and the types of fusion mechanisms used in 3D printing processes.